This is an eBay scraper and AutoSourcer, the most updated version as of today. Version 1.3 works for the US and UK. Automatically scrapes products from eBay or ebay.co.uk, and also automatically finds potential sources of those products at online stores. I'm going to jump right in and show you how this works. The first thing is you go to ebay.com or you go to ebay.co.uk. Now, if you're looking for products from a particular supplier, then you will start with a brand of some kind. But for this video, I'm just doing a general search. So I will just put in something general, such as side tables. Okay, and I'll wait for that. Once you type in the phrase side tables, you get all these different product results. Now, one thing I really need to mention that I believe a lot of users are missing based on emails I've received is that you can control the number of items that are displayed on a particular page on eBay at the very bottom. So if you don't want just 60 items, you can change this, for instance, to 120 or the max 240, and you will get more products on the page, and then you will be able to scrape more products at once. When you're ready to scrape another page, you will have to go to that page to then scrape that second page. Okay, so the scraper does not automatically go through all the pages on eBay, right? So you will now copy the URL, and in the URL it has the number of products, and you will paste that URL right here into the system, and you will immediately then click on extract products, and it will automatically extract the products from that URL, meaning the products, and let me move this over here, the products that you see in front of you on the page from the URL that you copied, those are the products that will be pulled in here. And it may take a minute or two, so I'll come back when it's finished. So it has been a couple of minutes, and I see that the data has now populated from eBay. What I will first do is just open a few products so you can see that it is in fact pulling these products from this page. So if we look at the wrong page, this page, right, these were the products, and here goes one of the products that was just pulled. Okay, and you can see the data. 12 sold, price is $37.99. You see the same here, $37.99. 12 are sold. There's also a sales history link which you can get on eBay itself from the product, but that link is also copied to the spreadsheet so that you can see the actual details on the transactions and all of that. And there's also a link to the seller's store. If you click on that, it will bring you to the seller's store as well, if you want to look at their products. And yes, you can also scrape products from a store. Okay, you can also do that. And you'll see the feedback score as well for that seller. Let's go back to the product listing, right? And you see that feedback score of the seller. You see that feedback score is right here. Okay, so that's what it does, and it does the same thing for all these different products. Okay, pulls all that data right in here for you. Now, the next part, or the other part of the system, and I'm going to close those listings, is the auto sourcing. So with the auto sourcing, let me just quickly explain before I hit that auto source button what these settings are. So you have targeted search. Targeted search means that you're looking for a particular supplier. In that case, you will go to target suppliers and you will type in a list. For instance, let's say Amazon. And you can even have more than one. It might be Amazon and Walmart, for instance. And you need to put the actual domain .com. Okay, so Amazon.com, Walmart.com. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. And then you would put this on yes, and it would look only for those suppliers. But I'm not doing that. I'm going to leave it on no. This is not a targeted search. This is not a targeted supplier. And then I have the maximum number of sources. That is the maximum, the most sources it will basically print out on the sheet at a time. And then we have the minimum accuracy. The minimum accuracy is a little bit more, it's a little more complex to understand, but basically it is the degree to which the title and the sources need to match in order for them to show up on the sheet. So if you use a minimum accuracy of 0%, I'm going to go ahead and start sourcing the products. And I would just, skip this detail, but it's actually really important when you're sourcing from eBay particularly, because of the variety of product titles that can appear. So it's really important to understand this, okay? If I put it on 0%, all right, it's going to be easier for it to find more results because it's not being strict. So this is like how strict the sourcer is going to be, right? And so you will get more results, but you might get more. Many of these might not actually match. So actually, let's just take a look at what happens with this 0%. Let's see what actually comes up. So this is $37.99. That product. Actually, I'm not concerned with the price. Actually, I'm just concerned with the product matching right now. Okay, you can see that these products have like a similar look, but they're not the same. All right. And I'm going to look at this second product. And remember, there are multiple sources potential. I keep using the word potential sources because you still need human verification ultimately to know if it is a match or not. But you can see, all right, with this 0% being so small of a match accuracy minimum, that you're likely to get some sources like that are quite different. So you have to kind of play with it, and it depends on how targeted your search is in the first place. My search is very general, and so I'm going to get things that are very different. Okay, so in this case, being that I did such a general search, what I'm going to want to do here actually is I'm going to want to do a higher minimum accuracy. It doesn't have to be very high, but let's actually try 50%. Since my products are, I keep going to the wrong website. Since my products are so random, all I did was type in side tables. I didn't really specify a brand or anything, so they're very random. And so what I want to do is put a higher accuracy, like 50%, and then click on source products. So that means that the similarity between the title and the URL, that at least half of these words need to be in that URL. That's basically what it means. Right? So what will happen is I will probably get less sources now, but they will more likely be a match. Okay, that's basically how this works. So now I'm going to open, I think I already have this open. And let's see what it finds. All right, now there's no guarantee that any of these sources will be the same, because it's possible that this product is not found at any of the online stores that are on my supplier list. Right, that is a possibility. So with this particular one I'm looking at, I may find it, or I might find it, I might not find it. I'm finding things that are similar. Okay, so it really just depends. I'm gonna go on. I don't want to just keep looking at the same thing. Let's look at this one, this round side table, and I wanted you to see and really understand this. Now, I could have done a particular supplier and a brand, and I could have easily found matches really fast. But I want you to see the full idea, complete idea of how this works, what makes it work, more likely to work, or make it less likely to work even as well. So you can have a better understanding of what you're doing. Okay, so I want you to see like all the sides of this. Okay, so this is what happens when you do like such a general search. It can find, and there will be matches in here, but it's just I'm trying to do this with limited time. I don't want this to take a long time, so I'm kind of going through these quickly. So even though I did a very general search, it is possible to find matches this way, but it's just gonna be more digging and more playing around because I'm being so general in what I searched for. So I'm gonna actually clear the sources again. And what I'm going to do is go back and just for the sake of really making the search a bit more effective, what I'm going to do is go back to eBay.com. Instead of just saying side tables, I'll do mainstays side tables, for instance. Right? I'll be a little more specific. Put in the brand name, which actually comes from Walmart, to see if I get some potential Walmart sources. Right? Another thing I can do to make it a bit more targeted is I can select sold items. Right? Instead of just auto-sourcing everything, why don't I auto-source things that sold? And you can see some of these even sold fairly recently. And now I'm going to copy that and put that in here instead, that URL. Okay, I'm not concerned with the number of products right now. In fact, I want to keep it small for this video just so it works faster. The more products you extract, the longer this extraction will take, because it has to actually visit each product to get the data. All right, it cannot get the data right from here. It has to, as you can see, that data doesn't show, right? It doesn't tell you how many products sold, how many units sold. So the scraper, the system, the scraper, I could say the scraper, has to visit each of these products one by one to pull that data, and that is why this takes a little time to run. Okay, so I do have to wait a little bit for it to do that. Okay, so it has pulled the results for these mainstay side tables. Now I'm going to use AutoSource again, but this time I'm going to do it a bit differently. I'm going to use a targeted search. And I might change these settings as well. So targeted search, I will set to yes. Number 2, I will go to target suppliers. I'm going to remove Amazon.com and replace it with Walmart.com. Okay, so my target supplier, and let me zoom this up in case it's too small. You can see that I typed in Walmart.com. Okay, don't modify anything here. Okay, this is how it knows how many suppliers. The last row that has suppliers, so it doesn't overread and take too long to do things. So just don't touch that red area, and let me zoom this back out. The other thing is the maximum number of sources. You can leave it at 10 or you can make it smaller, but I really don't need 10 if I'm targeting it to Walmart. There shouldn't be like 10, so I'm going to reduce this to like 3, which still isn't really necessary, probably, but I'm going to put it down to 3. For the minimum accuracy, I could leave it as 50%. I'll leave it as 50%, and I'll click source products and see what happens at this point, and see what I get for the sources of these products. Now for this video, I'm sourcing and then I'm checking products for matches, right? And that's more for demonstration purposes, but that is not really when I do the complete process, which I'll do in a full tutorial of this video. This is not a full tutorial. I will show you that what I actually do is I source the products in bulk. I then pull the price data, which I'll show you how I'm going to integrate with software to get the price data in another video. I look for the ones that show up as having a potential profit based on the price ratio, which I'll get into in that video as well. And then I check to see if those potentially profitable products are really matches. So verifying the matches are last. Okay, but for this video, it's more about kind of proving that it has this ability to match, right? So that's why I'm comparing the matches first. Now this eBay product, sometimes eBay link is still there, but when you go to the product is gone, right? The listing's removed. This listing is still here, but it's out of stock, no problem. This is just for comparison. And then here's Walmart, and let's see what we get. So these look very much like they're similar, except different, maybe different variations. I would say this because this is natural here on Walmart, where this is the rustic, but they do look quite similar. All right, so now there are other results here, there's another Walmart link, and I believe this is the actual one. So this is why it's good to have multiple sources returned, right? I could say, oh, just one, I only need one. No, let it return as many things that makes sense, because it might be that one matches but the other doesn't. So now I have the match, okay, of this product, right? Okay, so you see that these match. That was really the point here. I'm also going to look at this third product and see if it finds. Oh, okay, I don't have a source there. Now, the reason why some of these are blank probably has to do with the minimum accuracy. So if I set this lower, I might still be able to get results. You might say, well, why would I want it lower than 50? Because sometimes it's lower than 50, but it still matches. So don't think that if your accuracy is below 50 cents, this accuracy is not, it's just a count of the, it's just comparing the words to the URL, but it, you can still, the products can match and they can have a low percentage, right? So these are probably not coming out because I have it at 50, but that's fine. What this does is it kind of saves time so that you don't go, get in, more likely get into the ones that actually match, right? By having it at 50, I'm going to be able to work probably a bit faster. So it depends on what your goal is in this process for what. That's what determines what accuracy you should use. Okay, this one actually ended, but you can see it's the same product. Right, so these are matches, and you can see the price differences as well. Okay, this would have been profitable, right, or would be profitable if you sold it as well at that same price and it's the same product and it has sold at that price, right? When you see this listing and it says it was ended by the seller, but we see that it did sell, and in fact, I can open this and I can even see when it sold, and I see it sold. Okay. Back in August. I don't know why it's down or why they took the listing down, right? We don't really know why, but I can see the original listing. But, the listing has been ended by the seller, but it did have the ability to sell, okay, at that higher price. And so when we then find it at Walmart at a lower price, it's not a bad idea to list the product and try to sell it, right? And I think it's one of these other variations like brown or something like that, right? So you see that match as well. So I mean, that's basically the idea. Okay, you're going to keep opening these products, and again, I'm doing the matching this way, or looking at, I really want to see something different. I feel like I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. It's just different variations. I would kind of like to see something different. Okay, finally, something different, right? A lot of them have ended, a lot of these listings. But, again, you see that this is a match. Okay, this picture is just smaller, but you can see that it is the same. Let me zoom it up just in case. Right? I mean, it's the same exact picture. They're both mainstays. It even says mainstays on eBay. Okay, it says they sold 2 for $14.99 and they charged $6 shipping. They sold the last one in August. Okay, right, and so on and so forth. So that is really pretty much the idea. Let me try one. I want to see if I can find something with the source. Okay, let's see. That sold a number of times. Here's another one. It says it's out of stock. Said it sold 5. Right, and I can see last sold August. They all say August. And I can find, again, the same product on this first Walmart link. Right, it's the same product. So you see that if you target your search more specifically, you will more quickly, more easily find matching products. But if you use a very general search, as I did in the beginning, just searching a very general category, it's going to be tougher to find Matches, there will be matches in there. There will be matches in there, but you may have to dig a little harder to find them because it's going to return a lot of different stuff potentially, right? Or what you can do, if you're going to do a very general search without the brand, like I did with just side tables by itself, maybe you want to try put in the accuracy very high, really high, so that only things that are really close will come up, right? But if you're doing a more targeted search like this, it's going to be pretty easy to find matches. So now again, I compared matches here. This is not a full tutorial. In another video, I'll show you how I'm integrating this with SKUGrid, which is a external separate software that is used for dropshipping on many marketplaces, including eBay and Amazon. But using it not to dropship, but using it to pull the price, shipping, and the stock data. So that will be in another video. This video is just to show you, again, just the beginning of the process, which is really just the scraping and the sourcing, the two main things that this does. So if you're interested, go ahead. There's a link in the description of this video if you want to get a copy of the system. Now, if you are using a previous version, the previous version did not have auto-sourcing. Also, the previous version did not work with the UK. This one works with the US and the UK. So it's really pretty much like a different system at this point. But if you already have the original eBay product scraper, just you may get the updated version sent out to you. Otherwise, you can contact me by email and give me the email on which you received the original system, and then you will get your updated copy. But if you're new to the system completely, use the link in the description of this video to get your copy of this new complete system. And of course, more updates will be made to this over time. One last thing one last thing I will mention is this total system reset button. When you click this button, that's what it does. It clears all the data out. It clears all the sources. It clears all of this. Okay, it did not clear the URL. I could add that in, but you can also just delete the URL yourself. I mean, the URL is not really the thing. It's all this other stuff that it's going to clear out for you, and it's going to clear out some other sheets as well. And that's pretty much it. I'm Mr. Mark. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave them below, or you can contact me directly. Go ahead, get a copy of the system. If you are already using a previous version, make sure you get an updated copy. And I look forward to either hearing from you or seeing you around on the channel.